Hey, how's it going? In today's video, I'm reviewing the Zoids Wild Zero Omega Rex from Takara Tomy. This kit was released in March of 2020, and it cost me 5,460 yen from Hobbylink Japan. And it first appears in the anime Zoids Wild Zero. Not to be confused with the Zoid Wild series. Yeah, I know the same name doesn't really help, aside from sharing Zoid designs. They are completely separate series. Wild Zero has a completely different storyline, with a new set of cast. The Zoids are upscaled and larger, and also they don't friggin' ride on them. They actually have cockpits. But for this kit, they still provide a rider. But no one talks about him anyways. Well, yeah, the Omega Rex was in the series, and he was awesome. Especially when he teamed up with the DINO Spiner to fight the big bad beastie. But I don't want to spoil it. Go check it out. It's actually a pretty good anime. I enjoyed it a lot. One thing I do want to point out is in that anime, they kind of upscaled the Omega Rex to be gigantic. And though the kit itself is still pretty large, it's not that large. Before I start the review, I just want to mention that the Omega Rex is actually based off the Death Rex, and I mean this in terms of building. Though I don't have the Death Rex, I've seen enough videos. The frames are very similar, they just have different armor pieces, and personally I prefer the Omega Rex's appearance more. But I digress, on to the review, starting with the box. Because it is a Takara Tomy kit, you have the model kit as a box art, and just gonna point out that pilot is painted. But if anything, the box art is a good indicator of how good the kit will look. Also, for whatever reason, Wild Zoids are always 1/35th scale, it's really weird, but don't you worry, it will still fit very well with your 1/72nd scale Zoid kits. On this side of the box, we have a really cool illustration of the Omega Rex and the Death Rex. Unfortunately, I can't read Japanese, still very cool picture. Also got an image, pretty much highlighting the Wild Zero series. Now on the other side of the box, we have the model kit without armor and with armor, and also the additional gimmicks it has, because it is a motorized kit. It does have some moving parts. And just gonna say this now, you usually don't care about the motorized function, but for this kit, it looks pretty cool. Now on the back of the box, we have a lot of text here, which is all in Japanese. Feel free to stop, pause, and just read it. There's also some specs over here, which is pretty cool, and a pretty cool image of the weapon firing. Also, there's an image here if you ever want to attach a ridiculous amount of weapons. I love the interchangeability for the Takara Tomy kits. Very toy-like, just like my childhood memories. Now, before I show you the kit itself, I'm just gonna pop open the box, show you what actually comes in the box. The parts are not on runners, they're already pre-cut, and because of that you can expect actually a really quick, easy build. And for this kit, it came with this little pack thing that I believe just comes with extra parts that seem randomized. I know not all Takara Tomy have this, so I'm not entirely sure what really this is. Not sure if it's a special event or it's special for this kit, but it gave me 2 missiles. And like I said earlier, it's a motorized kit, so you are given this giant motor over here. This part over here already moves, so you can expect some cool stuff when you turn it on. And of course, batteries not included. The build process will be very easy, there's not that many parts to it. And if you never built a motorized kit before, pretty much you're going to be building the kit around the motor itself. If you happen to be a beginner, don't even worry, it's very easy, especially for this kit. You're not going to need a knife or clipper, so you're good. And though every piece is already pre-cut, there are some dub marks, but they're very far and few between. And on the blacks, I barely found any. Overall, there were barely any, so you don't have to stress over that. But once you're done, this is what it looks like. This is a complete straight build. Oh wait, I should show you this first. This is the inner frame of the Omega Rex. Absolutely frightening. I love it. But yeah, this is the inner frame of the Omega Rex without any of the armor attached. One thing I love about the Wild series Zoids are they all have this cool inner frame that gives them a very organic, fearsome look. And without the armor attached, you can actually see a lot of the mechanical details, especially on the side of the legs. I love the fusion of organic and mechanical look that it has from the skeletal frame and then the mechanical elements. Unfortunately, a lot of it does get covered by the armor, so that's why I feel like you should see this. And even on the inner frame, there is a good amount of panel lining opportunities if you want to do that, and a good paint job here would make this kit look absolutely amazing. It would help bring out a lot of the detail. But yeah, I want to show you, really cool inner frame, would have been a shame if I just ignored it. And with the armor on, this is the completed Omega Rex. Straight build with no panel lining, there are stickers provided, though there aren't that many, and I don't want to put them on. Now for appearance, pretty much this is the reason why I got the kit. It looks absolutely badass, very imposing, and the black looks very mean, contrasting really well with the inner frame's grayish brown. The black also has a little bit of gloss in it, reflecting the light pretty well. And for me, I prefer this look over the Death Rex. This one looks much more mechanized compared to the organic look of the Death Rex. One thing I don't like is, because it's a Takara Tomy Zoid, a lot of the pieces are hollow if you look at it in certain angles. This is normal for them, but if you actually notice it, it just seems like it's barren, it's boring, you know, it's missing something. There isn't much in terms of colored part separation, but the hard contrast and inner frame poking out helps break out all that black. But that's just how Takara Tomy kits are. They're not high-end master model, but they still look very good. Also want to point out they gave eyeballs for this kit and you just cover it up. And that red there is not a sticker, it's actually just painted on. But for whatever reason, I just think it looks bad. Despite that, still a great looking kit, absolutely love it. Let's see if it has any articulation. Remember, it's a Takara Tomy kit, so don't expect much. And beginning with the head, the mouth can open really wide. It's so big I could actually fit my fist in it. This cannon piece in the mouth is able to fully 360 rotate. And when the mouth opens, the top part of the neck goes up and down as well. You also have this large piece on both sides, able to flip all the way forward. This is when it gets ready to attack when you turn on the motor. The arms can wiggle, but I'm not going to count that as articulation. Also, when doing so, this part will be able to flip up. The legs can move forward and back, and doing so will affect the tail moving side to side. Same can be said in the reverse. If you move the tail, the legs move as well. And that's it for articulation. Don't expect crazy posing. It's a Takara Tomy kit. It's different. As for extras and accessories, you are given 6 sets of missiles. And you can follow the instructions and place them right over here where they tell you to. Or you could just put the missile anywhere there's a peg, because it's pretty much universal. And because Takara Tomy loves having you buy weapon sets, you could just place them everywhere because there's pegs everywhere. I mean, you could just make monstrosities just like this. And that's pretty neat. And like I showed earlier, you do get this package with additional weapons. It's just a weird packaging, so I'm not sure if it's like a weird event exclusive or something special. Because if it is, that means not everyone will get that. And if you're wondering, I didn't show this in the video, but they attach the exact same way, just like the other missiles. Next up, we got this clear pilot figure. Not sure if it's a named character or is this generic guy, but yeah, pilot figure over here. Don't know why they gave us one, because in the series, people are actually piloting them in a cockpit. But they gave us one so you can have it sit right there, which is just gross. Next up, let's move on to the motorized function. Underneath the Rex, there's a compartment over here. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver to open it up, and 2 AA batteries. Of course, the batteries don't come included. But once everything's assembled and you got the batteries in, there's a switch right here where you can push, thus allowing the Omega Rex to walk. And of course, being a motorized kit, the motor is quite loud. And pretty much the Omega Rex is going to take a couple steps, and then start opening its mouth and start charging its particle beam cannon. When this happens, those side little panel things are going to flip all the way forward. The cannon in the middle is going to start spinning, and then everything's going to light up, and then it's going to open its mouth really wide. And like I said earlier, it opens its mouth wide enough where I can fit my hand in it. And it's going to keep doing this until you turn it off. And though it might have been hard to see, I turned off the lights so you can see the LED inside the mouth. It's bright, but not as bright as how the camera makes it look, but still a very cool effect. And if you're curious, this is what it looks like without any of the armor. Normally I don't really care about the moving gimmicks, and I don't know, just seeing the mouth move without any armor just looks really cool. But that's extras and accessories. Let's move on to the shake test. This kit is really solid, so I don't expect anything to actually go wrong. I'm just being careful with the side panels, don't want to rip those off. And the mouth just wiggles up and down, but nothing fell off whatsoever. As expected from a Takara Tomy Zoid kit. Well, at least from a modern one. I remember those old ones being very bad. And if you're wondering the dimensions, it's around 16 inches long, around 40 centimeters give or take, 17 if you have those side panels flip forward, or 43 centimeters. And it stands up to 7 inches tall, or 17.78 centimeters. For size comparison, here it is next to the entry grade Arc 72, master grade Arc 72, and my previously reviewed Zoids, the high-end master model Godos and Iguan, being very small next to it. Then we got the Takara Tomy Burning Liger, the high-end master model Koenig Wolf, my favorite Zoid, and the Takara Tomy 40th Anniversary Liger Zero, and the two are pretty comparable in size. Next up we got Haro, Doraemon, DK, Figuarts and Amplified Metal Greymon, That Needs a Build, LBX Ifrit, Naruto and Sasuke, Mini Spider-Man, and a Rubber Ducky. As for shelf presence, it's a really long kit, so I have to put it at an angle, and with that size and design, it sticks out quite a bit. Alrighty, review is finished, and what are my final thoughts? I'm extremely biased. I got this kit because of the appearance, so I believe it looks absolutely awesome. Also, I'm a big fan of the inner frame, and for 5,460 yen, I think that's a pretty good deal. Build is incredibly easy, something a beginner would have an easy time with, and it's quite solid as a kit. And though I'm usually not a big fan of the motorized and LED functions, however for this kit, seeing the mouth wide open with the LED spinning around looks pretty cool. Though I would completely understand if you don't like this aspect, because now it actually starts going into toy territory. And if you're looking for a kit that's for articulation and posing, unfortunately this isn't for you. But thanks for watching my video, I hope you liked it, I enjoy making it. But what do you think about this kit? Do you like how it looks? Would you ever get one? Would you prefer a high-end master model version? I personally would. Hopefully they actually make that high-end master model Death Rex they teased earlier. But yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks again for watching my video. Take care, bye!